1 year ago today, as I published this, I released my worst YouTube video ever. It also happened to be my first. It's so bad and cringy and sounds like an over-the-top infomercial. Hey, I'm Kelly, a father of 6, full-time software developer at Rescue Time, and Dean of Digital Campus at Signum University. On this channel, I pretend to talk about productivity while really just talking about whatever I want. And today, that's my first year on YouTube. I'm going to share with y'all how I got started, my fears, my favorites, performance, and time spent, lessons learned, and a bit about my hopes and dreams for this channel in the coming year. Let's begin with my decision to start this channel. I suppose at this point I'm supposed to say how I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, and this is the fulfillment of that dream. But that's not really accurate. Okay, it's not accurate at all. Up to the beginning of 2021, I never once considered starting a YouTube channel. The thought never crossed my mind. I alluded to this a bit in my review of Ali Abdaal's Part-Time YouTuber Academy, which you can check out up here. But the gist of it is that I've been wanting to start a podcast or regularly post to my blog for the past 10 years. But I never took the plunge to start that podcast or, regularly wrote on the blog. One day I stumbled across one of Ali's videos, and at the end he was promoting P2YA, and it was an instant decision. Really, I heard the ad and signed up within 5 minutes. I figured, hey, yeah, okay, I'm looking for some creative outlet, why not give this a go? And I'm so incredibly glad I did. I'm only a year into this, but it's already opened up doors and allowed me to get connected with a bunch of great people. But before diving further into the touchy-feely stuff, let's talk about some stats. I like to track time I spend on major projects, YouTube being one of them. And according to my reports, of the 190 hours I tracked, 42% were spent on editing, 25% on scripting, 23% on recording, and 10% on publishing. Now, I got a bit lazy with time tracking last year, so that 190 hours is sizably lower than it should be. But the distribution across all the activities is fairly accurate, with probably a couple of percentage points shifting from publishing to editing. But if we look at the graph of time spent across 2021, you're probably wondering, what happened here in June? Well, that's when I started working with Marco, who has been editing all of my videos. Before asking yourself why I hired an editor, go look at those numbers again. I was spending 10 to 20 hours per week on each video for the first couple of months. That's on top of my full-time work at Rescue Time and my volunteer work at Signum. It really wasn't sustainable, at least if I want to have an enjoyable life and time with my wife and children. I enjoyed the editing process, but I wasn't the best at it, and I certainly was extremely slow, making it the longest part of the process each week. It was also the easiest to hire out, which is what I did. And it was a fantastic decision that has made this channel sustainable. On this topic though, if you like this sort of thing, check out this video up here where I talk about how much time I spent on my master's thesis in much more detail than I did here. As far as the rest of the stats, well, if you look at the 54 videos I've released so far, there are 4 which stand out as the clear best performers based on view count. My Kindle review, my Sony FX3 review, which is in the box and not right in front of me right now. More on that later. My Kindle cover review and my UGMonk analog review. All product reviews. Sure, it makes sense. They're all high traffic search terms, but still, I'm not really sure what to do with that. I mean, I don't really want to become a TechTuber review channel. At least I don't think I do. But we'll leave that for right now and switch over to the feels and talk about some lessons learned. My biggest fear going into this channel was all about releasing that first video. What would people say? What would my friends and family think? Would I really be good enough? The thing is, it really wasn't that big of a deal at all. And let me remind you, that first video certainly wasn't good enough. I placed a bunch of pressure on myself leading up to release, but the moment I hit publish, it was over and I realized no one really cares. Probably because almost no one will see it. And that's a very good thing. It's really unlikely for you to go viral early on, which will give you time to improve your craft. Another important realization is that my mood in any given week greatly affects the end quality of the video. Some weeks I'm just a bit down, tired, lacking energy, and I put less into scripting and less of myself on the camera. Other weeks, where I'm on fire and enthusiastic about what I'm making a video on, the results are fantastic and I love the end product. An example of this is my absolute favorite video from last year, where I talk about reading better. Let's talk a bit goals for a bit. What's next? Well, I'm not really sure. Initially, I set myself a goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers by the 1-year point. And, well, obviously, if you're watching this the day or so I release it, I missed that mark by a couple hundred people. But that's okay. Up until a couple months ago, that was just a goal, like a quantifiable ambition. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. But a couple of months ago, it really hit me that, hey, there's a real person behind every one of those subscriptions. And it is incredibly cool that there are 700 plus people out there who have liked at least one of my videos well enough to stick around for another. So thank you a bunch. As far as goals for this next year, I'd still like to hit that 1,000 subscribers, and so that's a quantifiable goal. But I also want to reach a bit further, and my next aim is 5,000 subscribers, and I would absolutely love it if I can reach that, which will be really pushing it, and pushing myself to make better videos. Speaking of which, for something far less quantifiable, Ali's initial commission for the P2IA cohort was to make one video a week, every week, for 2 years. At this point, I am halfway there. And now that I'm able to do that consistently every week at a decent quality, I want to shift my focus into trying to make each of these videos great, something that you are excited to watch. I'm not really sure what that means. Sure, there's the storytelling and the cinematography aspect of that to make these videos more entertaining and enjoyable, but I also want to focus down this channel a little bit to make you know what to expect when you come to watch one of my videos. It'll probably take me a couple months to figure this out and figure out what it means for this channel and how to do it, but I really appreciate you sticking around for this journey. Till next time, bye. I'm gonna share with, I'm gonna share with y'all how I got started, my fears, my favorite